Happy Thursday, y'all, and welcome to the continuation of Speedrun Ragnarok 2022 with the RPG Valkyries supporting Take This. My name is Alicel, and I am going to be your host for the next little while, and I am here with Nori, who is going to play some Mystik Belle.
Thanks, Alicel. Appreciate the lead-in. Hello, my name is Nori Maki, or Nori for short, and I'm going to be showing off Mystik Belle, a cute little game from 2017 that's highly overlooked. And I remember when this game came out initially, and it was not quite in the state that you're going to see it now. Not by any stretch. It was slower, but the developer took a lot of feedback from the people that played it and added a lot of quality of life, kind of sped the game up a little bit, and things like that. So it's definitely not the game that it was when it first launched, but at the same time, neither is the speedrun once I got my hands on it from a random host that showed it to me. So fell in love with it, seeing it instantly, and I'm going to be pleased to present this wonderful game to you as well. And I believe we hit the donation incentive for true endings, so you get to see the full experience, which is going to be even better. So here we go. If you guys are ready, then I will go ahead and give us a 3 count, and I'll be time will start when I select normal here, so I'll give it on go. That's okay?
That sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, we will get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. So Belle is, she's a freshman at this school, and she's practicing her magic when kind of all heck breaks loose at that particular situation. So someone caused some trouble, and a potion has been spilled that is absolutely needed for the upcoming festival. And now, because I was the one standing in the hallway, I'm the one who has to fix it. I'm in big trouble. Oh dear. So we need to go and get 3 main items in order to make this potion happen again. And the Council of Witches obviously have tasked us with this, but not with a lot of guidance. Of course not, because why would they tell you exactly what you need to do? So my homeroom teacher, Miss Sky Willow here, she'll be mixing this potion while I'm off adventuring. And I hope you guys really enjoy this. This zoomed in look is great because the devs kind of did a wonderful job of giving so much expression to the characters in this game. And the one thing that you're going to notice a lot is the care and love that kind of went into the expressions of that. So, you know, it's not just your standard run around and do things, but you get a lot of great snarky dialogue. The characters are well written and everything, even though it's kind of a shorter kind of thing. But when we go around, you'll just see random items just kind of laying around everywhere here. And we have to combine things to make things and things like that. So you think of it like Monkey Island, but in a Metroidvania universe instead of just story. And Belle here, she's powerful. You know, don't let her small stature fool you. She's quite the amazing character. So I will let this run, but we're just kind of running through the kitchen here, and that was kind of like the one annoying thing that could have just happened. So you'll notice as soon as I came into that screen, a monster spawned right on my head. Nothing I can do about that. If you're at low health, the game will do that to you and put you in a death loop, and there's times where that's just going to be a bad thing in a speedrun, but we'll hope and pray that that isn't going to put us in sort of a dire strait situation. Right now, my health isn't all that important, because I am planning to get a level up at a specific spot, but I don't want to get too low where it's a danger to get. Hi, kitty. Bye, kitty. Didn't pet the cat. Okay. That cat didn't really want to be pet anyway, I promise you.
But all cats want to be petted.
I mean, this one does, but you pay the consequence. If you want, I will show you on the way back out. If you really want to know. These guys are being nice and generous with the health drops here. That's good. Opening up that shortcut saves me time later right there. And this was good enough movement to help me beat this cycle. You don't want to have to wait for it to come back because it's really annoying. So we grabbed this book that we've been asking here. I'll go ahead and pet the cat just for you guys. Oh, ouch. Okay, cat has static cling. A lot of it.
It's just winter in the north. It's so dry and staticky.
Yeah, I know. I just had to reboot my computer right before the stream started here for me. For that very reason. Static cling, and it froze my computer. So that's great. So that little chest I just talked to in the previous screen there is actually one of the additions that Dev put into for the what the leaderboard calls is the easier mode. It's actually just normal mode, but those chests are in there to allow you to kind of like store items and be able to collect them at any random spot. you have a very limited inventory, so you can only carry so many items on Belle specifically, and the chests kind of make it easier for you to be able to manage that inventory as you're picking up items and trying to figure your way through the game here. And it was a nice touch, nice addition here. But what we try to do, because it does take time to get into that menu and then kind of do things, is we just leave items laying around. So what I've just done is I've just left my... Oh no, I just forgot the route in mid-flight. Ooh, this is going to be scary. All right, let's see what we can do here. Hang on a second. We want to avoid doing that menuing as much as possible. One, it's slow, and if we leave items around, we can just pick them up anywhere. What I've just done, though, was that hall pass. It keeps me safe, and I got to make sure these frogs don't eat too many flies here. Okay, we should be fine now. I forgot to jump here. I need this ledge. There we go. Now we're back on route. And there's a hall monitor that is very mad if I'm not carrying that, and he will insta-kill me. Fortunately, this game is very generous in regards to kind of like checkpointing. It's basically if you die in a room, you die in that room, but you're able to start that room over. The problem is you don't get your health back. It's whatever your health was. And we're going to hope that I don't get in a situation where the health is too low. Mainly one, because experience routing, although now doesn't matter, is kind of a thing, because I still want to be at certain levels for certain fights. If I have to take the restart back to the beginning of the game to get a full health recharge, it's just going to cost us time to get back to where we were. So we're going to try to avoid that wherever possible here while we try to get routed. I'm not happy with my health right at the moment. We're going to have to hope that we get some good drops here in the near future. I do have a safety that I'll probably employ as long as it doesn't kill me to do. I call it a safety, but it's actually kind of scary depending on the setup. So we're going to try to avoid having to get ourselves in that situation. Right now, I'm just kind of going around, kind of collecting items that we need. That cat that just shocked the living snot out of me will now provide us with some electricity that we need in order to help our friend that we just took that saw from. So here's the safety. I'm just going to use these guys to hopefully... There we go. Got some good health drops from them. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so not so safe. This cat that shocked us... Now, no problem. We use this Leighton jar, pick up all the electricity, and that shortcut that I opened in my first trip through here, we'll just use that to quickly get us back to that teleport location to warp us to where we need to go really quickly. Kind of a nifty little way of doing that. Now, if you'll notice, there was a hard mode that I could have selected at the beginning of the game. And what hard mode does is actually removes these chests, so you're not able to store items and carry them to different locations. So you have to kind of do this perfectly and drop that. I mean, routing that one was quite the interesting endeavor when I realized that. And on top of that, everything does double damage. And I should talk about damage right now, because you're going to see me trying to avoid taking too much here just for safety's sake. But there is no iframes in this game at all. If you're in a hitbox of a monster, you're doing damage to them, and they are doing damage to you equally, and whoever has the most HP wins. Sometimes that's not you. So we try not to stand in hitboxes too much. So imagine double the damage with no iframes in hard mode and doing that particular run. It's quite harrowing for sure. Quite the challenge, but I know I've got time saves all over the place there. Now that this route has been really figured out, it's just kind of getting back to that category if I really want to really push them down. All right, so that was technically our first actual boss of the game, which we took care of very, very well and easily. A little safety, not too aggressive, but we got through it. And now we're off to like find more. We still haven't found any of the items that we actually need to be able to make this potion, but we're following a trail, and the story is kind of guiding us. And what we're about to find out is this wrong piece of food there. Full pass, please. Thank you. I did this earlier in practice too. Is that somebody else obviously spilled that potion. We know that. No one else believes us, but we know that. I'm going to avoid a soft lock here by waiting just a little bit longer. Good. And we always glitch the music out here. I don't know why, but it's just like if you're so quick, you just glitch the music out and it stops. Good fight. There we go. 2 cycles is exactly what I want to see there. So that ninja kind of says, yeah, I'm the one who spilled the potion, but they aren't going to take full responsibility and help us out. they leave that item behind, and we're just like, well, you're no help whatsoever. But that science ninja is like, you know what? I don't really care about your guys' traditions anyway, because the modern world is beyond this tripe, basically, and kind of leaves us to our devices. So now that we've gotten some more items, now we got to start trying to really kind of get out. We're finding out really right now that the castle isn't where we're going to find these items that we need. We got to use everything that we kind of collected to be able to progress that, and I'm just leaving certain things in certain locations for easy pickup later. Horseshoe's going to be necessary here shortly. And you see that raccoon there? He has something. We want that, but we can't get it right now. He's too quick. So we're just going to clean up our inventory by dumping out this metal scrap, which we will need later in a different form. And now you see, obviously, by beating that ninja, I got a new skill. I, 1, have spread shot, and 2, have a dash. The spread shot comes with the levels, like I'm level 4 right now, and that's just a piece of that. And then the dash comes from beating the ninja, so you kind of get new abilities and stuff like that as you kill bosses in this game. And I'll demonstrate that here shortly as we are about to go and take on another one here. So this electric charge is like the most OP thing, because it just constantly sits there and just hammers on enemies, which is the more preferred way of going about things than sitting there spraying shots. There's one monster type in this game, which fortunately isn't part of the route. It's actually immune to this, but we don't get to see that. If we ever did like a all bosses category, then that would become relevant. So unfortunately, we don't have to worry about that.
And so, is this a Hydra rat?
It's the Rat King specifically. And yeah, he's got 3 heads. He's now no longer a problem, and he was carrying or holding on to, basically holding hostage all the flour. So we needed him gone because we need that flour for later. Also, that boss is super scary. Like, you want to get close so that you save time. However, if you get too close, his hitbox is still active, just like all bosses are, while they're exploding. So you can actually get yourself in there and die while it happens. And if you die, well, you have to do it over again. It doesn't matter if you've already beaten him, he's exploding. You've got to do the fight in the room over again. Be careful if you plan to pick this up as a speedrun. Know that you need to respect the space of the monsters that you kill. But this chain dash obviously is the most optimal movement, and you can easily drop it if you get out of rhythm. And if you drop the input, that can cost you some time. And these doors are the bane of my existence still, even after all this time of running this game. These doors really tick me off. All right, quick trip in the water here, and you've got to be really quick there. Belle cannot breathe underwater, and if you spend too much time there, you die very quickly. There's a case of the dropped inputs. Speak of the devil, and it happens. Oops. Some good health drops here, though. I'm not complaining about this. This is actually setting up here. This is kind of the more scary part of the run, is me and Slashy were battling back and forth for world record. The route changed so much. We were finding new ways and faster ways to like best each other. And Slashy came up with some of the more scary stuff, except for this part here, where basically at this point we're going after the werewolf. This normally wouldn't be the time to do so. But like, if you did do it, you would take an intentional death just to get your health back. And I said, I'm kind of done with getting the intention, like the health. So I want to be able to get this routed in where I can take him out without doing another death work, because that's, again, slow. And that made it scary, because during this time frame, you're doing a lot. You're going through a lot of screens, a lot of damage can occur, and you want to try to mitigate that as much as possible. And even though you get iframes in the dash, it sometimes doesn't always give you what you want, and you'll take damage as you're dragging through the monsters really quickly. So now that I'm like really used to it, it's not as scary, but it potentially can be a big part of like a big run killer. All right, so this
and
guy
you
here,
mentioned.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, right now we're just kind of again just grabbing some items. I'm going to do some backtracking here. So we did some setup here to pick up the items that we're going to need to be able to get our next boss going. So right now is actually a good time for anything you need to plug, donations, whatever.
Well, I was going to ask a question. You mentioned needing a hall pass earlier.
Yep.
The giant guy with the scythe, would that be the hall monitor?
That would be the hall monitor, and he does one-shot you if he hits you. But you can kill him, or you can zip by him as quickly as possible. If you make a big mistake, it's always advisable to reset the room because he won't come back out immediately.
And we do actually have a $100 donation from Bahamut X, our previous host, saying, "I'm digging the music in this game. I love hearing old school music in newer games. Good luck with the rest of your run, Nori."
Good, thanks, Bahamut. Much appreciated. All right, so that metal scrap we melted down to slag so that we could actually make a giant gear because the mechanism in that teacher's room is broken. For a good reason. He wants it to be broken, but we kind of need something from him. He's not been forthcoming with everything that we need out of him. Zip away from this to be able to reset it to allow her. So his true colors is, well, he's a doggo. He's a werewolf. And this used to be the scariest fight for me. This one was like the fight that would really cause me trouble. Until Zlash, kind of learned a little bit of the manipulation. Not really manipulation, but just the right movement to kind of keep him from being that big of a big deal here. As long as you can keep these charges going here, it's really good. He kind of takes care of himself. And just like other bosses, he does have that little one, but it's like his active hitbox while he's going down. But it goes away quickly, fortunately, here. And normally in any percent, I just teleport out of here. But since we did make the incentive, I'm going to go up here first. And we get to see one of the more stranger enemies in this route coming up here in a few screens. So you get to see some very odd design choices. Need that piece of paper. Thank you, game. Laser beavers. Don't ask.
I mean, what? They don't have those north of the border?
Well, I know I live in Wisconsin and they're not here. I don't know about Canada. I think Natara would have to answer that question specifically. But if they're up there, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's quite the area. Speaking of fun routing decisions, this was the one I was always curious about. So we're going to take a quick dip in the water there. I just grabbed that bucket, but that bucket has holes. So it doesn't hold water very well, and I was always wondering if there was a way that we could get water without going slightly out of our way, which the route at the time required us to go kind of down here to pick up just a little bit of water. And Slashy, the crazy mad lad that he is, found that you could get that water and carry it here, but you got to be like clean, super clean. You get very minimal mistakes here. And that movement is very tricky to be able to carry it here, but we get here with plenty of time. You're able to do that. So that werewolf claw was one of the first items that we needed. The next one we need is a lily. Oh, hey, look at that. We got the bloom of twilight. That's exactly what we need. This tree isn't happy about us taking it. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to fight him. We'll hope that his bark is worse than his bite. Okay, bug, go away. Thank you. Ooh, this is actually scary health. We're gonna hope I don't die here, actually. I can't really dodge these, those branches. Oh, gosh. These a heart? Anybody? No? Oh, dear. All right, cross your fingers. Nope. Okay, that's fine. So like I said, taking a death is just instant. Okay, you just have to redo the room over again. We have plenty of health, but I got a really bad start on that fight. And I was very unfortunate with the monsters dropping on my head, which is where the damage went. So, scuffed run. His bark was definitely worse than his bite. We'll try what round 2 has to offer. As long as I don't take too many monster contacts here, we should be fine. Be a little more cautious about it. And they're giving more cautious health. Oh, nice. Thanks, game. Well, this is way more safe. We should be okay now. And the only real penalty for that is that you lose any gained experience for that particular death. So whether or not you take the warp back to the beginning for full heal, or you dying in that room, you lose your entire experience gain. So again, at this point, the experience is not that bad. Like, we don't really need it. Mainly, you're going to finish the run at level 6. That's just going to be where it is. Like, sometimes you'll get level 7. That's just extra gravy if it happens. It happens. No worries. All right, so this pit stop, I thought we could avoid this by leaving the item somewhere. Comes to find out, there's a hard story trigger there. If you don't turn those 2 in now, the werewolf doesn't wake up. And if the werewolf doesn't wake up, you don't get very far. This is another sidetrack for a piece of lore since we got the true ending. So these pieces of lore is how you unlock the true ending. You got to pick these up here, and this is the scary... Okay, whew. That's like the scary time with him. Death can snipe you there, and if he does, it becomes kind of a bad cycle. So I'm glad it didn't work. It didn't get me. Let him kind of manipulate your movement there, but no big deal.
I think we all would have stayed in class if that was our hall monitor.
For sure, right? That door can burn. That's the one door that always likes me. Like, you get too close to him, or if you dash too soon, the door ignores the fact that you're hitting it with the charge, and will just close right in your face. And then you have to hit it again with the charge in order to open it again and lose time. So, like, there is a good manipulation for it. I took that rather cautious just for marathon's sake, rather than, you know, going all out here. This is the dorm room area. This is where everyone sleeps, but because it's the middle of the night and we're in trouble, we have no rest. No rest for the wicked. This rope, very important to grab now. If you fall without getting it, you've got to loop all the way around, just like we did with the crowbar earlier. And yeah, again, kind of slow. I want to do that. Just getting to our quick way here, and then we're going to zip back to where we started from. Got to make this tricky jump. I'm going to do that early just to be safe. There we go. Don't want to miss that lore. That one's a hard one to get to, and you have to loop around a lot if you miss that one too en route. And then hope these raccoons don't touch you. They're little thieves, and they will totally take something from your inventory. You can hit them if they grab you really quickly, and they'll drop it, but they move so quick you're not likely to get them. Also, laser sharks. Don't mind those. Maybe Dr. Evil wants them. You don't even have to put it on their heads. They just shoot them. And also, let's appreciate this extremely good water level music and the fact that this water level isn't terrible.
Yeah, falling just seems so much easier than trying to put inputs to swim.
Yeah, I mean, you have to jump to swim, but you're not... It's not a slog. You're moving at the same speed that you would out of water. Like, it's a good water design. Let's go. But it might be because of the bubble, which we got from killing the tree, by the way. As trees are sources of oxygen, it makes sense to me.
I mean, it checks out.
That's the way I justify it, at least. Alright, this is kind of a scary part here. I want to come out of this with at least a good amount of health, which I did. The reason for that is the next thing I've got to kill can make or break this next piece. And I'm worried about this. So if this guy decides to be really stingy, he could be in for a bit of a world of hurt here. This squid. Oh, he gave plenty of health. Good, okay. Sometimes he can be super stingy, and because I have to tank so much damage just to get by him, it usually will put me... Oh, that was very rude, game. Oh. It puts me in a bad health position because I'm going to be taking a lot of damage to try to get through this next segment. And I would like, ideally, to avoid having to take a death warp out of this. Doesn't always work out that way. I'm really going to take this cautious. Ow. Mine? Not. I guess the acid hurts more. It's okay. We'll take the death warp out of here, which is kind of the current route anyway. Oh, I actually made the jump. Let's go. Kind of a recent thing I've come up with there is making that jump. So, take the intentional death, getting back through all that and having enough health for what I need to do. Very hard to do. They try to give me the apple back, and I don't want it. Bingo, huh? Tabemasen. Tabemasen. Another one of the annoying parts of the route. You have to come down here first and try to get to the next area and find out you can't before the next story trigger opens up. So if you're wondering why I'm here just to get some dialogue, that's why. Unlock the story trigger.
Just not going to let you sequence break today.
No, you can get out of bounds in this game, but once you get out of bounds, you can't get back in bounds. And I don't believe the screens, I think this is kind of like a Pirate's Curse setup where the screens are individually loaded, even though they're very quick to load, which is a blessing. They're not necessarily in like a big giant map that you can traverse. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We don't need to go down there yet. We need to do this. Drop here. Take another intentional death warp for routing's sake. And then we're going to go and collect a few other items that we had to leave behind because Belle was, obviously like, I'm not going to route through other people's things unless I absolutely have to. Well, no, we absolutely have to. I'm going to pick up my sack of flour, which is the only thing I've stored in this entire run. So we need this paper tube here from the dorm room. We've got our sack of flour, we got a bag of fertilizer, and we've got some sulfuric acid. I wonder what we're making.
A stink bomb?
Close. You had one word right. And it's actually really funny dialogue. If you tell him that you're just going to put the things together, he's got a very funny response to that. So I highly recommend casual experience. You kind of just talk to people. This dialogue is so good. But I'm just going to say, thank you for the high explosive. I will try not to blow myself up, but accidents may happen. Sorry, I came up with lyrics for that song. So how do you get through walls? You get TNT. A little bit of dynamite. And this is because this thing back here has my last item that we need for this potion. You don't have to wait for the full explosion. Just not be near it or on the opposite side of that wall immediately. Oh, and by the way, big bug warning for anyone who's got spider fears. Close your eyes now.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it seems like all of my speed games have a giant spider. I don't quite get it because I do not like spiders either. But it's a common theme. This used to be the fight that I would die on over and over and over again. I finally learned that if you just stay in the middle of the spread shot and just keep pumping these like charge shots into the face, you just get a constant stream of health from the webs that are exploding because it's trying to spit out a bunch of webs at you during that phase. And it's like, I don't really want any of those. And fortunately, if you just stay in the middle and not like get out to the sides, it's not a dangerous fight at all. Oh, that was interesting. That's a good fight. All right, so we've got some backtracking to do. Even though we've got everything we need for the potion, we don't have all of our lore for the good ending. So we need to do a little bit of sidetracking here. I want to try to tank as much damage as possible. I'm setting up for another death warp here at the end of this. Hopefully we get to do it by kitty slime, because that's the fun one. Oh god, there was a lot of health in that wall. Oh, that's a lot of kitty slimes. Okay, decent amount. They have like more HP than anything here, but we can just kind of sit in that spike bed if we wanted to. Alright, so our third trek this way, unfortunately, required because we didn't have the skills that we needed to do to get what we need here at the top. So we're gonna once more backtrack here. Well-placed, like, silver wall there that you couldn't beat until you killed the spider. Kind of annoying, but couldn't get around it otherwise. I have not found damage double jumping in this game yet. If I do, oh boy, the route's going to change again. Ooh, I didn't think I made it, almost fell off. Alright, one piece of lore left, but we got to turn something into Miss Skywillow, our homeroom teacher. because we still need potion. I won't tell you how many runs I've lost to not turning that in, getting to the room I need to, and wondering why it's pitch black. Like, oops, I forgot to do something.
Just a little bit of a necessary step.
Oh, for sure. Ooh, I just have my jump eaten there. There's the dragon scale. She's going to be able to complete the potion. She's like, hurry up, we've got to get this delivered. If we don't, there's a problem, and instead of going that way to warp to where we need to go, I need to go this way first. Not today, Ghost of Dinner's past.
And we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, go for it. We're just going to finish up our thing here and grab this one.
We have a $5 donation from Dream Tora. Witching good luck to my friend Nori on his magical run.
Tora, I'm proud of you. That is awesome. I knew you were a convert. All right, so we made it. The potion's here, and the whole purpose of that was to satiate the big statue in the background. We didn't do this. It would raise an evil that would kind of raise the land, and unfortunately we didn't make it in time with all this, but we don't really find out why this is important unless you get all the lore pieces. So unfortunately, because we're too slow, we've got this guy coming to say, get off my lawn. He's mad. He's not very happy. Get off of my lawn. So yeah, he's awake. He didn't get a sleeping potion, and the science ninja thinks that they have the correct answer. Mankind has advanced so many years since this whole thing started. So yeah, of course, giant robots, right? Get off my lawn. No. At least not unless you're actually controlling it. So we're gonna hope that I don't get a bunch of right uppercuts coming from this guy, because he can be a troll if he wants to be. Generally, he doesn't. And time will be in 3 hits on him. 2, 1, one more, and time. And the best dialogue in the game coming up here shortly. So all of that just lands us the best victory cry ever. You know it. Science wins the day.
Yay, science.
Yay, science. And now it's time to pass out because it's been a heck of a long night. I will zoom through this. So I just want to give some quick shout outs. This game, again, a lot of fun. I was lucky that I got raided into somebody who was playing this and doing speedruns, and it immediately grabbed my attention. So shout outs to Zlashy out there, ZLASHI. He was my competitor in this, and we bounced so many ideas off each other despite a big language barrier. He's a South American runner, and we still had fun learning from each other and trying to best each other for now. But I've taken these times down so much, he doesn't seem to be interested in trying to come back. But you never know. And hard mode is a free category because it has not been optimized fully yet. So there's that. And then, just thanks again to my community, one for showing up today and to cheer me on. And shout outs to the RPG Valkyries for having me and allowing me to run this wonderful, wonderful game. And I hope more people get involved with it. It'd be great.
And where could we find this game?
This game you can find on Steam right now. It's like $15, which I think is a little high for it, unfortunately, but it goes on sale often. So keep your eye out for that. I believe it's on other platforms as well. So you can definitely locate it there. It's a fun little one. It's not like a huge game. You can probably beat it within like 5 hours if you really bend your time to it. There's some other things that you can do in this game that we completely skip. Like there's the hidden area that you can find, which is a fun little one. You see all these enemies here. You're probably like, wait, I don't remember seeing that in the run. There's a reason for that. There's a hidden area that we didn't go to. There's a lot to explore. And again, the dialogue's just cute. The animation's cute. The artwork is beautiful. So on and so forth.
B.
And I don't know what my time was. I didn't run a timer, but I'm going to assume it was like 29-ish?
It looks like it was 30-30.
30-30. It was close. I wasn't sure. I did have that fall at the beginning, so that makes sense. That's a good time. We just barely hit the sub 30 mark here not too long ago as I was preparing for this. So, at any rate, that's it from me. Unfortunately, this is the only run I had in the marathon. But again, thank you, Valkyries, for having me. Pleasure. You can find me on Norimaki_SR on Twitch. I'm known for Shantae runs, although I'm kind of away from Shantae for a little bit right now. And I don't know where I'm going after this. This marathon had me on this game, and now I don't know what I'm going to return to. So I don't know. We'll see what we do. It's all speed runs pretty much all the time. Have fun, everyone.